Have you ever played a game that made you stop to think about a childhood friend you no longer stay in touch with? Or ever wondered what life would be like if you just returned their call? That's what this DLC did for me. In a good way. I'm Brett Madigan and welcome to my review of the Life is Strange Before the Storm Farewell Episode DLC.
I have no idea when I'll see Chloe again.
Being a short narrative episode, I'll try my best to not spoil too much of the plot. The episode focuses on the last few days leading up to Max's departure from Arcadia Bay. Essentially a prequel DLC for the original Life is Strange, but released for this game. Within this short time, the developers managed to cram in a fitting tale between two friends seeking adventure. A pirate adventure of all things.
Awesome.
It was nice to see both characters experiencing a key childhood memory, reminiscing about past events. Growing up, they'd imagined themselves as pirates. What do pirates do best? Bury treasure or locate buried treasure? I don't know, I thought it was cool. So the main idea of the narrative was to seek out a map to where an amulet was located. That map would then reveal the location of their buried treasure. This caused me to remember events from my own childhood, to when I used to seek adventure. I don't know, it was just a nice throwback that sparked some interesting moments for me. Obviously everyone will interpret something like this differently, I just thought I'd share that. Take it or leave it.
Walk the plank.
At first glance, the DLC may seem empty and filled with mundane tasks, but if you accept the character build-up and not worry about the plethora of side details, it was enough for me. With plenty of meta dialogue for the player to seek out, though a little too much I'd say, it just felt as if there wasn't much focus on the narrative being presented to the player, but rather wasted potential for a deeper meaningful story. By now, if you don't know what to expect from Life is Strange gameplay, in short terms, it's walking around finding interactables that trigger progressive narrative events. Can't really put it any simpler than that, I suppose. I know that developers want to find ways to extend gameplay and whatnot, but when there's sequences where the player has to move through objects, why can't I do that with this section? I can clearly move through there, but yet no, the game says I can't do that. I gotta do it a specific way? Didn't understand that at all. Let's sidebar for a minute. How did the Price family get all these huge objects up into the attic? Where's the shrink ray at? Because I don't see a way for anybody to get all this stuff up here with that little tiny hole, let alone get it out. So, bit of common sense out the window, I suppose? I don't know.
Crap. I can't get into the attic.
I'm not sure if this was the intended design or a bug when you acquire the amulet, but rather than disappearing to focus on the cutscene, it remains on screen for some reason. It takes away from the emotional build-up of the cutscene. Just thought I'd mention that. We're still unable to skip the cutscenes. The reason I mention that is because the saves are either before the cutscenes or mid-cutscene. So if you've seen it already, you can't skip it. Minor complaint. The series has always strived for an impactful soundtrack that provides the player with mood or tone for each scene. Deck 9 have succeeded tenfold. Combining that with cinematic techniques, their use of music is amazing.
That's because you're a goop.
If I had to complain about anything, it would be the constant background noise that's present in just about every cutscene. Their idea is to try and simulate a vibrant world, but all it does, in this case, is drown out the voiceovers.
You think it's still there?
Should be.
A strong point for the developer is their use of cinematography to portray a meaningful atmosphere in cutscenes.
I remember being terrified of this place.
Well done, Deck 9. Some devs can't even pull off B-roll very well, so you guys nailed it this time. Great cinema aside, there are some noticeable changes that can be defined by altering the engine the game's designed in, from Unreal to Unity. Most prominent being the removal of settings that were present in the original game and low quality textures, despite the stylized texturing approach. Now let me stop you there. It's not engine specific per se. I mean the texture resolution is noticeably different from the original game, therefore making it a little off-putting sometimes. A few minor issues include alt-tabbing may cause the game to crash with audio playing in the background, button prompts changing randomly from Xbox to PC. Not sure if that was my doing, maybe I bumped the desk and the mouse moved or something, I don't know. Followed by an incorrect seam on Chloe's t-shirt when she's sitting on the couch. The main problem I had with Before the Storm was that the animations felt more robotic this time around and less emotion was shown in the characters' movements. Facial expressions didn't feel like they were portraying enough emotion this time around. I don't know, how do you guys feel about this? Was this an issue for you?
That's BS.
I have to go back to the cinematics. The takeaway is that Deck 9 know how to strut their stuff when it comes to cinematics. Each cutscene had its own style and coupled with perfect music. This fact made up for most of the quirks I pointed out, some of which are an easy fix, so nothing major.
There it is.
I have to admit, this DLC hit me hard. It's relatable to me personally, not because of the narrative itself, but with friendships ending over stupid differences or simply knowing you may never speak to someone again. Thinking about that stuff definitely sparked some tragic memories for me. Not sure if that should factor into this review, but gonna let it slide this time. The emotional rollercoaster of this short narrative had an intense impact. It was clearly the intention of the developer, which I'm totally okay with. Just seeing Chloe distraught? I couldn't deal with that, I really couldn't. I was filled with emotions I haven't felt in years, and I love that about this DLC.
I will always, always love you.
From time to time, we as gamers need these kind of moments. It became serious very quickly. I'm just thankful they didn't continue the next 2 days. Max had 3 days before she had to leave. That would have been so saddening. Thank you Deck 9 for skipping that. Though deep down I would have liked to experience Max's side of things after the events took place. Your experience with this DLC may have been different. I guess all I can say is keep your mind open and free to explore your feelings. Chummy I know, but it's true. Life is Strange Before the Storm Farewell DLC gets the thumbs up from me. Though I would have liked to experience a little bit more. It was about 50 minutes of gameplay in total. Honestly, I just wanted more. It left way too much to the imagination between Life is Strange and this DLC. I don't know. What more can we ask for, I guess? Anyway, hope you guys enjoyed this review. My name is Brett Madigan, and I'll see you guys in the next one.
You better not be thinking what I think you are.
Chloe, I haven't seen you touch this guy in years. Why do you care?
Why do I care if you throw my beloved childhood friend into the trash?
If you want to support me, you can head over to patreon.com/madigan. Thank you to everyone that's currently supporting me.